So this poem is a political poem. I write a lot of political stuff, and I read a lot of romance poetry, and I do a lot of performing with my music and drum, but sometimes I just like to get a little political, you know? So that's what this one is kind of like. And it's called Like an Old Western. The pharmaceuticals, the insurance companies, the oil companies, the energy companies, the banks and Wall Street, the government and the Fed. They'll all say we're better off, but they just as soon see us dead. They say things are better, but nothing has changed. They still get their profits, they're just rearranged. While most just still suffer from the inflation game, when everything rises but wages, we're not turning pages. No big change upon us. The bought and the paid for have thrown us under the bus. What's the fuss? Wanna cuss? Won't do you no good, 'cause the do-gooders are gone. Long time moved on. No ground can be gained, it's all the same. They're the ones to blame, and it's such a shame. We can't pin it on their name, but compassion's never been their claim to fame. But it's nothing, disgusting. No life here, ain't no life nowhere. It's like watching a Western that's old and outdated. You thought it had substance, but it's just overrated. 'Cause they pound you with everything they say that you need. But watch out for the side effects, filled up with their greed. The corporate greed just sucks us dry. Can't get away from it no matter how you try. If you send someone up to fix it for you, it just doesn't matter, 'cause they'll get sucked in too. Until regulation is diligently done, forget about it. Compassion is just on the run. No help for your fellow man, no relief for the workers' stand. Children starving all over this land. In the US of A, man, in the US of A. All the brainwashed clones drinking their Starbucks and eating scones, spreading the news like there's no tomorrow. Do anything to you, beg, steal, or borrow. At a moment's peep, like sheep on the cheap, just follow whatever they're told. Led fully blind like they've done all the time and will till the day they grow old. Never wake up to walk in the sunlight. Can't get it together, they're just not too bright. Rather shoot you or accuse you and definitely abuse you. Till the day that you die, they'll never look you in the eye, 'cause they're guilty, man. Eggs fried in a pan of promoted ad-libbing, recycled fibbing. Can't think for themselves, too scary to change, forever declaring it's home on the range. But it's nothing, disgusting, no life here, ain't no life nowhere. It's like an old Western. It's old and outdated. You thought it had substance, but it's just overrated. They pound you with everything they say that you need. Watch out for the side effects, filled with their greed. A critical thinking person is music to my ears, for hordes of heartless people have been marching through the years. Like a vampire's bite, they suck you dry to drain your spiritual light. But every now and then you find someone whose light is bright. You fight to keep it shining, can't give in to the blind. The music's still reminding you to keep an open mind. 'Cause it ain't now what it was then. It ain't bright enough, but you keep wondering when. Keep fighting for the light, keep breaking through the night. Help others when you might, so they too may wake up when it's right. Investments are good right now. Jobs, well, they're bad. There's many foreclosures around to be had. It's an interesting situation out there for you. Things are looking up, if you're one of the few. But for those of us most, things are still looking toast. The ghost of prosperity seems a thing of the past, and there's no present signs that these feelings won't last. The problems and bills seem to compound so fast. You try hard to make ends meet, to keep things afloating, to stay on your feet. But you're tired and beaten and ground to the core. And even when you're feeling good, the wolf is at the door. When it's gonna come your way, when's it gonna pay? to lead a hard-working, honest life and have some real relief from the strife. Get up on top and not fall. Get ahead, have a buffer, that's all. But who's really listening, and who's going to lead to bring real prosperity and not just feed the greed? Sometimes it just seems useless, I know, and just hopeless, man. But somehow you always get up and keep doing what you can for yourself and your fellow man. Well, I can see the light in you. I see it. Yes, I can. I don't have words of wisdom, but I'm glad you make a stand. Because it's the real Americans like you who will eventually save this land. The compassion in your hearts, the ones who still reach out their hand, the ones who make this country grand, many grains of sand, the true American brand. And yes, it's like an old Western. It's old and outdated. You thought it had substance, but it's just overrated. They pound you with everything they say that you need. Watch out for the side effects, filled up with their greed. It's just nothing. Disgusting. No life here. Ain't no life nowhere. With apologies to Jimi Hendrix. Thank you. Thank you, Eve. Thank you, Andrew.